Hello everyone, I'm Silent Death, and welcome back to Stationeers No Mining Challenge. Last time we worked on this gas fuel generator here, and this time we're going to be working on it some more. I was going to do the PID controller stuff off camera, but I've decided to do it on camera and maybe some other stuff. I just want to get this dialed in as well as test out our Stirling engine changes that we made last episode. But first, or to start with, there are a few things we need to take care of. The first one is this console here only does to 1 decimal place, because this is reading 0.239, if you can barely see it down there. So what we want to do, fix that very simply, is multiply this 0.2 times 100. So we'll multiply this value times 100. Don't even need to stop recording for that, because this is so easy. Let's see, where we read the input value from the sensor, load sensor value, then we're just going to multiply the input value times 100. And we'll multiply this times 100. Confirm. Export. Now this is the gas fuel generator pressure IC housing. So we want to change this. I guess that might work. I don't want to read this. So let's get a logic reader here. Alright, I decided to go with the logic memory instead because that doesn't take power. Then we'll come here and I've set D5 to the memory thing. Then we will set D5 setting to the input value. Export. And now you're complaining in line 13. What? I mistyped something? Setups there. Line 13. Huh. Alright, a couple of mistakes. That one's set though. This one is where we need to multiply this times 100, and I screwed up this line, which is why I was throwing it near. I don't know why the error was on the wrong line though. Maybe it wasn't counting the comment lines. Who knows? So that's here. We multiply the input value times 100, and then we're using the batch command because we don't have any free screws on this one to set the memory. And there that goes. You're good. Now we want to make this a little oscillating line. And 3, why is that 12? How did you get 12 from 23? I have no idea. You're set to logic memory. Oh, it can do more than one? Is it dividing them or something? Multiplying them? I have no idea. So that times 0.2 would not be 12. Averaging them, maybe? Maybe it's averaging them. That must be what it's doing. Okay, so that was weird. Let's go out here. As I was saying, we need to oscillate things. And we have all these big giant batteries. And that little one gas fuel generator is not going to produce enough power for all these little guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this small battery that we bought ages ago. And we will just modify the bat trader to read this guy. Let's go turn off those gas fuel generators first. Okay, so we've ran out of line on this little guy when I added the multiplication thing. So we're going to try a couple of things. We will try to use a switch to turn on this guy and just control this by a switch. One of these types of switches. We'll be able to fit this in here somehow. And we'll need a couple of logic IOs, a logic reader. Maybe we could fit these in here. Going to be tough. And a logic writer. I don't think this is going to be able to fit, but we'll try it. Yeah, that's not going to fit. Okay, well, I'll wire these up and we'll hook them up to the switch wherever we end up putting that. We'll probably put it over here since that won't fit. Alright, that did not work. So I've made a few changes to the code. Right here, we just turn on the gas fuel generator if the room temperature is below, or if the temperature is below the room temperature. Confirm. And that's doing this, which is what I was trying to get rid of, but that didn't work. I also think that this guy is a little bit much, so maybe a pressure regulator would be a better idea. So that's what we're going to try. We're going to try swapping that out with a pressure regulator and see if that works better. Well, we're trying it with the pressure regulator, and it seems to be okay. I really don't think these other numbers are mattering at all, based on our setup. I've tried 2.5, 3, and 5, and set point is 20. Max output is 100, and you know it's not really doing much in terms of like oscillation. It's just leaving a little bit of gas in the pipes, and that's getting used up. And once that gets used up, it goes back to doing nothing. So it doesn't really matter. So we just need to wait until the Stirling engine gets ready to go. And that should not be that long. We go over here. We're already at 1700, something like that. So we're getting there. This is colder than I was expecting to, and I don't know why. But it is. Let's go turn on a few things to suck up some power. Like the doors. And the greenhouse. And you're on. Turn that off. And let's turn on you, turn on you, turn on you. We'll turn on the Amy's too. That takes a lot of power. Alright, let's go see how that looks. Alright, we're getting a tiny bit of oscillation. Which is this one guy. It's probably based on our power consumption. And it is really annoying to stand in here because of this little noise. Wish there was an easier way to do that. But, you know, this will give us a few ticks. So, we'll count between the peaks. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 21, 2. So about 22 ticks between the peaks at this setup, which, you know, fine, I guess. That is your all off. Turn you off. There. So this should be half. It's TU equals 22. So that's 11, and this is, I think, a third. So we'll just go 7. Something like that. We don't have a very high little thingy there. So we could bump KU up, or K whatever it is. KP is the magnitude of the peaks. So we could do that if we wanted to, but we don't because this works. I mean, we're fine with it like this. It's not overtaxing our cooling like this, and that's really what we care about. So let's move on to the next thing while this builds up gas. Alright, the first little thing I want to do is start replacing the batteries in all of my tools with the nuclear batteries. Especially this guy. And then maybe we'll go with large batteries for the airlocks. We might go with nuclear batteries. It depends on how much resources we have. I mean, we have plenty of Inconel and Astroloid, but not a lot of steel. And this will also help use up some power while that's, you know, doing stuff. Also, I'm going to try to modify our automatic ingot delivery and keep in stock system to support this guy right here. And that's going to require a whole bunch of stuff. And I think if we just, you know, max this out and add like 1,000 or something to it, maybe 2,000, lots and lots of clicking, we can do that. I do believe we can do that. You get to go first. And if you ever played with this in like the earlier versions of the game, you'll know that this thing is kind of horrible for working with chutes. But now we have hoppers, so we're going to try to use a hopper to catch the stuff that goes out of this, and then we'll have to go underground and all that stuff. So while we do that, we'll have to go outside and make sure that this is walled off. Yes, let's do that first. And, how many more batteries do we need? 1, 2, 3. I can keep the large battery for something. I'll do one more. Or yeah, one more maybe? More might be enough. I don't want to eat into our steel too much. Alright, let me get these charging and we'll go outside and look at what we have to do. Holy crap. Look at the prices of pumpkins. These are badly damaged pumpkins and they're still 2,000? Wow. What happened there? Is that from the update? Holy crap. Oh, there's a genetic analyzer. We'll buy one of those. Batteries. And a big one. So might as well buy that. It'll save us some stuff. Let's go with the lowest damaged or the most damaged stuff, which is you. And that looks like about that. Oh, you don't have near that much money. So we just have like all of the money. You can't even afford a pumpkin? Okay, that's clearly messed up. I don't know if these are broken or something, because that is counting it at like full price, I think. That is obviously not right. Well, we'll sell that. I guess we can afford some gas now. Hopefully that wasn't the right thing, and it did not. Of course it didn't. We're still having problems with that. You're supposed to be hunting down somebody. Ah, there you are. Okay. We were doing something. We were going over here. That sealed off, so we don't need to do anything there. Let's grab a hopper, which is over here. And that should do that. Then we'll grab some of these chutes and go back inside. Okay, we've got that much done, so let's try and cram a hopper down in here. And... It can go there, but it can't go here. Oh, the computer's in the way. Okay, that's something we can fix. Doesn't even have the stuff inside. Over there. Okay, just grab some of these. Merge you together. Alright, let's see if this works. It does. And that does too. And I think that'll be okay. Don't see the power connector. Is there a power connector? Oh, an advanced one and a normal one. I just want the normal one. This one doesn't take power. That noise. Okay, so hopefully this will work. It's going to be really tight squeeze to get in here. Let's see. Probably steel is first. Construct with iron sheets. Okay, no. Not steel. Alright, the ingots part is going to be easy. We'll just run this underneath here and straight up in there. But I don't want to place that down just yet because this is the only place to get underground. Now we will need to come out from here and stuff. So this is, I think it's normal colored. Probably. If I can reach under here. We may have to dig further down. Oh, we breached the hole. Okay, so you gotta fix that. And now we have to try to cram a sorter down here somewhere. Come on. Fit. Alright, that'll fit. Then the power for that, I guess, can come up here. Just straight up. Assuming it doesn't collide with this hopper. It does. Okay. Then we will come over one first. And hope that here works. If that doesn't work, then I don't know. We'll probably have to go underneath the things over there. Manufacturers. This is really awkward to place things. There's a wire already up there, so we should be able to connect this up. Assuming I can squeeze in.
Anti-critical.
And then here we should be able to go up into the wall. Okay, let's see. How do I get out of here? Not that way. Okay, so I need to figure out which way is which. So the ingots are on this side. So that'll connect up to this that we already have. Maybe we should do the white first, because that'll be the furthest one.
Oxygen critical. Low pressure.
And then corner piece. Can't really see how that is from this angle. Alright, that looks like we can fit another one of these guys. That looks like it's going the right way. Yep. One. There. Okay, so that one's done. Now then we can tear out these. I think here. And start going this way. Alright, so you head up here. It'd be really, really awkward. And then we should be able to finish this off. Okay, so that is the ingot sorted, we hope. Assuming this works like we want it to. Let me hook up the power and then we will set the sorter after we get these chutes done. Alright, we've got that done. And since I can't reach the sorter down there, we're going to use an IC chip to set up with the stuff. So we'll turn it on, we'll set the mode to 1, and we'll set the filter to ingots. The same way we did all these. And line 5. Oh, that should be D0. Must have typed that wrong. Okay, that should take care of that. Now then, let's test it by dropping something down there. That did not look like it went in the right place. Let's turn on you guys. Okay, so it did go in the right place. Alright, so now we need some ingots. I have some that I traded for, so let's go try those. We have some steel and other stuff. So we have 25 steel. So this should be pretty easy to tell if it goes in. Then if we turn everything on. Alright, so there's the steel. That much works. We'll let that finish off. Now then, we want to make sure that we can read reagents from this guy. I don't know if it has that whatever logic thing. Okay, it does have reagents. Good enough for me. Then we'll turn this off. And we need to modify the script here. So right now we have the production sorter on D5 and the stacker on D0. What I'm going to do is move this to D0 and switch D0 to the fabricator. This is the only stacker on the network, so we can use batch read and batch write for that. And I think that would be fine. Okay, this was actually pretty easy. I just did a find and replace on the stacker. Then we changed this to BD5. We changed the stacker, and then wherever that is, we changed the commands to batch commands, which, you know, most of them were set. I think there was only one read command. So all those got set. Then I searched for DR0 and then just changed this number by 1, increased it by 1 so that it went through D1 to D5 instead of D1 to D4, and did that in every instance, and this should work. So I've moved all the ingots into here. Now then we're going to move them into this guy over here, which will mean I have to pass through that. They're on. It is on. Ingots are going in. They're getting properly sorted. They're getting sucked down and ending up in here. Alright, so that much works. That part was easy. Now we have to go do the other stuff over here, or out there where the vending machine is, and that's going to be a little bit difficult. The first part's going to be easy though. We could do that just right now while this is running. Faster, faster.
Critical. Low pressure.
Now this is going to be super simple for the first guy. All we're doing here is changing this list. So we're going to, the last item must have a stack value. This one's already 1. So we'll change this to 9. This is the maximum amount of stacks we can have. Then we will push the basic chute kit. Get basic chute. This number on to this. Confirm. Export. And that's all we need for that one. This one on the other hand is going to be quite a bit more difficult. Let me save this into my library and I will come back. And it's working. automatic production. So let's go look at the code, and then we'll do whatever we will do.
Oxygen critical. Low pressure.
This was actually a lot easier than I was expecting. So we go down to here, define fab function, and we just added these 3 lines here. So we already had the hash fabricator because I know I was going to think about doing this. And this is 5, the 5th screw, or D5. Then the find fab function is also been modified. We added this line here. Branch relative if these are equal. So if the fab hash is hash fabricator, we skip this line here because we cannot set the recipe hash with logic for the fabricator. That would throw an error, and we don't want to do that. So that happens, and then that goes through this, the same as we had before. There's 2 more lines that have been changed, if I can find them. Right here, where we're activating it, we're also turning on the computer. And where we're deactivating it, we're turning the fab off, we're also turning the computer off. And that's all we had to do. That was quite simple. I thought it was going to be super hard. There is one thing I should mention that I had to make sure was right. And that is the computer here. I had to make sure that this was paused because I thought that you couldn't activate this thing. But in fact, you can activate it because it's gray. So that means it can be written to. So that pauses this thing when this is activated set to 0. Otherwise, this little guy here does not know when the ingots get full because it will immediately use up something trying to produce stuff. So that is just why you need to pause this before you start running that little script at the beginning to initialize stuff, and then it will repause it when it finishes this before it turns off the computer and all that stuff. Okay, now let's go check on our fuel gas generator thing. It's been running this whole time, so we should have a fair amount of gas. Switch you. We have been using a fair amount of power too. We'll just come around here. And the IC units in there are off. So this is not doing anything. And that's 3,000-ish moles. We want 4,000 to trigger. Let's check to see how much fuel we have left, because we may not have any. We're getting low, but we should have enough to finish our maximum power thing. And I think what I'll do is go back and turn on all the other batteries. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. Yeah, let's turn on all these, and then I'll reset this back to the battery ratio of the big batteries. Then I could probably, well, yeah, that's what we'll do. And another thing that I've done is I added a switch here, which powers this little guy with this logic writer. So the switch and outputs the vending machine on. That way everything goes in the proper vending machine. We have no pumpkins. And we have a bunch of pumpkins. and a bunch of money. And you can go, I think. Yeah, I think I bought everything from him. Okay, it's been long enough for us to have enough gas to, power things. Start up over here. Let me go get something to drink first. Okay, we have 2.8 kilomoles of carbon dioxide and 1.4 kilomoles of polluted, which is more than 4,000. So, our little guy should be down here in the idling, and everything's off, so it should be waiting up to 30 seconds, and then it will load the moles, set the setting to moles. If the moles is below or greater or equal to minimum moles, it goes to startup. And this is what it should happen. So it should turn on the pumps, the Stirling, and the analyzers, and all the housings, or most of the housings. Then it does a slow startup at the startup pump setting with the power difference. We went over that last time. So let's see if this actually works. Unless I screwed something up between episodes. Go ahead and turn you on, and I think that's fine. So it's on 108, which is down here, so it is on startup. And this is starting to heat up. Pressure's climbing. Power generation is already at 8,000, and something happened here. Here at line 45. Probably forgot to set something. Decrease. Okay, so line 45. What? Okay, what was your error? Error unknown at line 45. That makes 0 sense. Okay, there's probably a typo here somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. Alright, yes. There was a typo I must have used find and replace and did something there. So this should come back on in a second. Just any moment. 30 seconds. A little bit more than a moment. Come on. Okay, there it goes. Hit 108. It's cranking on at 3. And it is reading 7,000. 75. Room's heating up and attributing to this. Alright, there it peaks off. This switches on, and this switches on, and all these others switch on. And this is running and holding steady at whatever it's holding at. Little bitty bump there. It tried to turn on. Went a little above. So now it knows that it can do that. And it's correcting itself a lot. Still going above a bit. We might want to adjust a few things. Alright, let's see about adjusting the settings here. Alright, so the first thing we're going to try is turning down KP and turning up TD. And we've lost the settings for TD, so let's go with... It says it's 7, so let's go with the full 7. And we'll bump this down to, let's say, 20. So that went a little bit over. I want to adjust this to be this one. Not quite sure how that is going. We don't have that setting in here. Okay, it must be in the other room. Did you overpressure? Yes, that triggered the overpressure safety thing. And the room sitting up, are trying to. We're getting a little bit too much power, so we're wasting a little bit here. It did cool down though. And this is decreasing rapidly. Still going a little bit too high. Maybe a lower TD? Or a lower KP? We'll try a lower KP. I think. Let's dump this down to 10. And then export you. Okay, that is looking a little bit better. Wait for this to move on a little bit. Certainly staying within range, if only barely. Okay, yeah, so that's peaking out at 7971. Which seems to be good. We may want to lower it a little bit more. Maybe to say 5, just to be on the safe side. If we have, you know, hotter stuff. The hotter it is, the lower this number needs to go. Alright, that is holding steady. I think I like that. And yeah, it is time to end this episode. So that's got our power running. We're producing almost the maximum. Let's go check and see how much power we should be getting. So the total energy is this big number here. So let's see. 116 million times 15% would be the total amount of energy we're getting. And we're doing at almost 8 times the power. Power production versus consumption. Then the instantaneous. And this did not get turned on. Or maybe it got turned on and then got turned back off. that might be what happened. So it wasn't keeping track of our total power. Well, crap. Not sure how that happened. If this isn't part of my normal setup, so I may have just made a mistake in the things. We're not using that much power though. Everything seems to be going along. Then again, maybe not. I don't know what just happened. Alright, let's go back and see what happened. Okay, I've been sitting here for 5 or 10 minutes and I'm not seeing the problem. Things are actually stabilizing the longer it runs. Pressure is slowly creeping up a little bit here as the room heats up, but then the safety thing will kick in. This is, you know, still plenty of room in the pipe for pressure. Lots of gas. And there goes the room overheat. Check. Should drop this back down. Oh, come on. There this goes. And it's back on and the pressure's dropping, so the safety things are working. No idea. Just no idea what's going on. Did you not get turned back on? I think I may have screwed up there when turning this back on. Let's see. Turn you on manually. So yeah, that's fine. Let's go. Shut down. It's the wrong thing. Whoa. Turn off. You're getting a little bit too hot. On and on. Engine off is here. Jump to main. When it turns everything on. This is, I think, where that happens. This is also shut down. But this one should be where it turned off the stuff, and I do not see any things where it would turn that off. Unless I'm just missing something. Because it looked like it went down here. Let me check in the editor. Alright, I found the issue. It was just I changed the code so that I could test things. This returns -1 for pressure and moles and stuff when it's off. And I normally, the original code has this checking here for this, and I had changed this to less than equal to 0, and that was triggering because I did not have a yield command down in the engine off. So if I put a yield command here, that would fix it, or I can just leave it like it is right now with just 0. And I think I'm just going to leave it like it is now, because that'll keep accidentally setting things. Alright, so this is just going to keep running and hopefully get us a lot of power. Let's go check on our power. Please do not explode. Just make sure. I don't know why it exploded before. It has to be something weird that we did with that. Or maybe it was that problem that we just saw. Could have been either one of those. That would have caused it to explode, I think. And for our power, we are not doing that great. We're at 33%. It's just they're all kind of uneven. So that is it for this episode. The Amy's have been running and doing stuff, sucking up our power. Like if you like, subscribe if you're not, leave a comment if you have anything to say. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.